Beautiful Friday night. Right?
Yeah, and already also a fantastic start of this stream as my mic was muted. So, yeah, anyway, getting down to it here between DSC and Desert Legion Gaming from the Challenger tier. Sorry about that, guys. Salt Pepper Raging Bull with you, and we've got both teams ready to go in the lobby. So, I'm getting ready to get this game going.
Let's do it.
I think they're set, we're set. No reason to delay. Again, starting off on Kings Road is the weekly map for week 5. If you're unfamiliar with how we're doing things, all teams, all tiers start here, and the losing team from this map picks the second of a 3-game series. And we've had some pretty solid games on Kings Row so far. If you were with us before, we saw the rival tier game between, I believe that was Revenant and Reddit Gynos. Gynos getting their first win of the season.
Nice.
And yeah, good win for them. Looked really good. We actually beat Scrimdom earlier this week, and yeah, we were impressed. Good team. I mean, you know, the metric, but also still a good team. And showed it there. Revenant was 2-2, dropping down to 2-3 as Gynos take up 1-4. But they did start off 0-3, coming into the game of the league in week 4, losing to Daddyland, and then now getting the win here. So 1-1 in games played, and looking pretty good so far. But in this game between Drunken Shimada Clan and Desert Legion Gaming, a lot to play for. Desert Legion's looked really good so far in this season at 2-2. Had a couple good wins. I think they had to forfeit one game, so maybe not an accurate reflection of their ability. Drunken Shimada Clan still looking for their first win though, 0-3 with 2 map wins, so able to pull one back and a couple tough 1-2 losses. So yeah, looking to bounce it back here. If Reddit Gynos could do it in previous game, maybe they can get their first win here. We've already had a lot of upsets, actually. I think Spicy Boys beat Daddyland. Squaw lost their first game. So definitely the potential.
What a week.
Right? What a week. And Beats plays Winky Face. You never know, man.
There we go.
Keep the trend rolling. But now, for the defense coming out, Drunken Shimada Clan. Drunken going Mercy. Dark Blaster on Orisa. Rayquazics on Bastion. And has played a solid Bastion. I think we've seen that all the way through Season 2 even. In the All-Star game and in the first game of this season from the Challenger tier against Squaw and Junkertown. Solid Bastion play. Soundless Surrender on Widow. Black Zion going Reinhardt Optimus on Tracer. Desert Fox for the attackers going Lucio. That's Desert Legion Gaming on the right in the red there. Desert Haze going Zenyatta. Desert Fire on Widow. Desert Frost on Orisa. Peachy Crevet on Diva. And Scorpion on Tracer.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we only have one Mercy here out of both teams. I know that Mercy patch just occurred, and somebody who does play a lot of Mercy but hasn't really tried her out that much in this patch, Sultan, myself, have you been playing any Mercy? Have you seen her in any comp games? What have you seen so far?
Well, definitely not as much in the comp games. Actually, this attack already coming through. Desert Legion will push through very quickly, and they're already starting to earn percentage. I think they'll be able to take this here in the first minute. Good attack from them. It's Black Zion trying to come back and answer a little bit, but we'll get taken down there. Doesn't have his team with him, and that will be a cap on the first point for Desert Legion. Again, a solid attack. To answer your question, though, obviously they were able to do it without the Mercy. It wasn't an issue for them. But it seems like I thought she would be nerfed a lot harder. I thought she would be unplayable. But still, obviously, a lot of healing potential. It does take that res away. You just have to be kind of economical about it. You can't really rely on it, which requires your team to group up a little bit more. And so I think it kind of raises the skill ceiling for teams that are really well coordinated. It kind of makes the difference, so you don't lose those cheap kills. But yeah, obviously working for the attackers without the Mercy definitely opens up the door to a number of different healing comps. So yeah, it seems to be working here for Desert Legion. Already doing well. Desert Scorpion got pinned early, or picked off early in that fight, but able to come back with the Pulse Bomb here with a short respawn. Uses it there to get Optimus and Sound Surrender. Answers one back on Desert Fire. Still a 5v5. Fight kind of stagnated here in the streets phase. The attackers continue to push as Desert Haze takes down his opposite Zenyatta. Rayquazics who switch off the Bastion after the first point. Going down there. The tank's back in the fold for the defenders, though, and what do you see, Rachel?
Yeah, man, I see Desert Legion actually doing a very nice job marching in. Diva Bomb is about to come out, but I don't think he's going to pick anybody because the defensive Orisa did put up a very nice shield. So you can see Desert Legion Gaming just starting to march this payload a little bit as DSC is backing up very quickly.
Yeah, now the sound barrier coming out. I believe that was from, maybe it wasn't going on. I think I thought I heard that from Desert Fox, still holding on to it. And as I said, that 3 ultimates for the attacker still. Desert Fire here with the Dragon Blade, looking for an opportunity to use that, but probably won't need it before they cap this B checkpoint. Only 1 ultimate, but still a strong one. The Valkyrie for DSC on the other side, Drunken there with Mercy. Dark Blaster switching to Zarya, and now it's the Dragon Blade coming out from Desert Fire. Up to go into the back. Great place. It's falling on that Zenyatta, just not having any room to work with. Tries to go for Mercy, but a good Valkyrie pop there will keep Drunken out of harm's way. And slightly effective, I think. Obviously able to get that support, but maybe not as effective as I would have liked. And I think the defenders are still holding pretty well. They do have the short respawn, so it may not matter for them.
Yeah, defense looking pretty good right now. They're starting to put up some form of a defense, but they are really kind of staggered out. I see the biggest problem with them is that they're just not grouping up. The best way to defend this last point on King's Row is to group up together as a team. Everybody jump off the map together, group back up. There's enough time on the point or in the game for that payload to come down, and you have spawn advantage. So I think they really need to march backwards and start grouping up a little bit.
Yeah, I completely agree. May not have the room to do so, though. The tactical advisor coming in from Optimus from behind to try and wrap things up here, maybe take out the attackers coming through, but a really well-timed Transcendence from breakaways, which will completely negate it. Or rather, I think it was from Desert Haze just coming in there, but now the defenders really getting the kills they need. The Junkrat's higher. Riptire working out really well for Soundless Surrender on Desert Fire. Maybe an optimistic Transcendence there from breakaways, but keep the defense alive regardless, and they'll have the Valkyrie soon anyway. And really, a good hold from them, but still 3 minutes and 45 seconds to contend with.
No doubt, and they have the spawn advantage right now, and as you can imagine, Desert Gaming, they're starting to group up so they can make this final push. They do have 2 ults coming in. You've got a Lucio ult and an Orisa ult, followed by a Diva ult coming in very, very soon. So you can imagine all 3 of those coming down here in this last push.
Yeah, unfortunately, Desert Scorpion falling early there, and not for the first time this game getting caught out, kind of forcing Desert Legion to a 6v5 and have to poke for ults and waste a little bit more time. It was fine on that kind of that first beginning part of the Streets phase because they had the respawn advantage, but here on this last kind of final section, obviously definitely further to travel, but the bomb coming through from Peach not quite connecting, and now ultimates coming out on either side. It's a sound barrier from Desert Fox and a Valkyrie from Drunken trying to keep each of their teams alive. Good res coming through to get that Reinhardt back up, and Soundless Surrender able to get a cheeky kill on Fox with those bombs. I think the defense is still holding relatively well. The attacker's trying to find some space. Black Zion might be by himself here, facing Genji and PG on this Diva. But again,
yeah, but Zenyatta keeping their Reinhardt alive was absolutely essential right there. You can see Diva and company are starting to pull back and regroup. So a very nice job by Rayquiz and Black Zion holding out that defensive point as they were allowing the rest of their team to group back up.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little dire for them, but able to find the kills, and once again Desert Legion comes back into this engagement. 2 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock for them. Desert Haze with another supportive Transcendence to try and help out, maybe with the Shatter coming through. But it's a Riptire still coming out here from Soundless Surrender. Finds a good double on both supports, and that's a fantastic ultimate use from them to try and shut down the attack once more. Desert Fire adds to the feed, and it'll be a retreat from Desert Legion again.
Yeah, very nice Riptire coming out, and it allows Black Zion to save his ult. That Reinhardt Shatter is going to be very, very important here coming up, along with that Soldier ultimate coming down.
Well, and the timing will be crucial, right? Because the Orisa shield has such a relatively short respawn time given the health. So they're really going to have to focus that shield if they want a pocket to use that Shatter kind of unbridled. But backing around the corner and defending, again, really tight. They've got the Breakaways of Transcendence, and I expect to see that here in this next fight. Should things get a little dicey for them. But they've also got the Valkyrie from Drunken, so they may not need it. Really in a good position, actually. DSC with a lot of ults to work with, and I think if they're economical about it, they'll get through this fight.
Economical indeed. That's exactly what they're going to have to be here if they want to survive this. On Desert Legion, they do have that Zenyatta ult that should be coming out pretty soon, along with another Diva ult and another Orisa ult. So if they're able to conserve these a little bit, and a big slam coming down, but is being answered by that Zenyatta Transcendence. Very nice job by Desert Hay there to save the rest of his team, but it doesn't even matter because Soundless Surrender on that Junkrat takes out 1, 2, 3 picks there. Very nice hold by the defense.
And once again, DSC doing it all. They've got still 4 ultimates and 1 more on the way as Dark Blaster's about to build that Graviton in a really good position with about 30 seconds left on the clock. And they're just going to stall out PG on that Diva. And as the attack starts, Koichi finally goes down, and that's a fantastic stagger. And nice paying attention from them. It's good focus.
Yeah, PG, as soon as that fight was lost, should have jumped off the map immediately. That needs to be some form of game awareness that needs to happen, but you know, when you're in the moment, it can be difficult to recognize.
2 picks immediately. Desert Haze going out. That's a fantastic tire again. Coming out from Soundless Surrender. A second death as well for the attackers means they don't have a lot of members. 4 seconds on the clock and trying to engage as quickly as possible. The bomb comes out but doesn't connect here from PG. A good transcendence from Breakaways just to bolster the defense as they wrap up the rest of these kills. Soundless Surrender in the feed. Black Science getting a good triple. Dark Blaster adding 1 more. Overtime meter ticks down. And it's 2 points on the clock on the scoreboard for Desert Legion Gaming coming into round 2.
Fantastic hold there by DSC. They had over 5 minutes to defend the point. They didn't even get that payload on the point for contention by Desert Legion. So nice job by DSC.
Yeah, I think we kind of see that sometimes, especially on the first map. It takes a
Definitely.
little bit for the defenders to really bolster and kind of settle in to their comps, and if the attack is aggressive, you know, you kind of get caught on your heels, and it's difficult through this streets phase especially to kind of get things together. And you're exactly right. They had a ton of time going into that 3rd section, and we're able to hold really well. So, yeah, we'll see what their approach is to this next attack, and it's still a pretty lofty achievement, trying to get all the way through that B checkpoint into the final phase, but we'll see what they have on deck for us. Pause here. As Desert Fox drops out, he has, as a team, just 1 3-minute pause.
So tell me, why didn't Desert Legion Gaming push that payload in? What did you see?
I think, honestly, just early picks again. We saw Scorpion fall a couple times early in those fights, and the Soundless Surrender with tires on Junkrat really caused the problems. They weren't really able to settle in maybe as much as they would have liked because they were always fighting down to man. So, yeah, I think they were finally able to group up a lot more, the defense was, and just picked off the attackers from Desert Legion. Pretty focused attack for them. I think you pointed out as well, Rick Wazix and Zenyatta able to keep their Reinhardt alive.
Yeah, it was a very nice job by DSC. I completely agree. Those Junkrat rip tires were huge for DSC to stay alive and maintain that point. I also would have liked to have seen Desert Legion Gaming group up a little bit more. I think that there was a couple of times where they were a little bit too staggered and they just didn't have that cohesive push like they did the first 2 points.
I agree. We definitely saw them come up with a little bit more aplomb on those first couple. But yeah, just, again, a good defense. And we'll see what Desert Legion has on their defense playbook here. Still waiting for Drunken to come back. Oh, not Drunken, sorry, it's Desert Fox. But again, a good push here. Just a couple announcements while we wait for that player to come back. The free-for-all tournament coming up here on the 17th is free to play. So definitely sign up on the website, OWXL.com/FFA, and get your name on the sheet. Should be a lot of fun. It's all going to be on that day, though. So make sure you are available on kind of afternoon, evening of the 17th. You'll see that on the box there. But Desert Fox back. Interestingly enough, we had a player leave in the previous game at this exact spot between rounds 1 and 2. Most convenient time to leave. If you're going to leave a game, you know, for disconnect or whatever, make sure it's a stopping point.
All right, Desert Legion Gaming. Starting off on the defense here, well, they're now defending, excuse me. We do see a Zenyatta, a Moira, a McCree, and an Orisa. We have 2 players yet to pick right now, so we'll see who those last 2 players are for Desert Legion Gaming. Ugh, kind of a mouthful there. And on DSC, you do see a Moira, a Genji, a Zenyatta, a Junkrat, a Pharah, and a Diva. So 2 healers, triple DPS coming in if they stick with this comp.
Yeah, that could be an interesting look for them. Blackside now going Reinhardt. I think it's a little bit better. Diva as the solo tank would have been really difficult But yeah, getting the second tank going a little 2-2-2, and hopefully they can have, again, an aggressive attack to get through and wrap up this point to get the third here and take this first game. DSC again for the first win, so oh, sorry about the rage.
Yeah, for sure. And the last two defenders coming in are your D.Va and your Soldier. So looks like Black Zion just charging right in there almost blindly. Didn't have any support backing him up, so unfortunately he goes down rather quickly. And now it's a 5v6 fight for DSC against Desert Legion. But the Genji as well goes down, so now it's a 4v6 fight, and DSC needs to pull back and group up.
Yeah, we got to see it on stream. A really good pull from Desert Frost, able to grab Genji at Dark Blaster and wrap up this defense for them. I think that was the second pick, and now it's going to be DSC looking to regroup a little bit. But finding a hard time with Sound Surrender and Black Zion both caught out. Black Zion now switching off the Reinhardt to Orisa. And once again, they're going to have to regroup a little bit. They don't want to lose any more players before this next engagement. It's for Desert Legion. PG now out of Mag in a tough spot, trying to get back into the defenders and may get away there. Optimus kind of giving some issues, and I think the attackers back up to a bolstered 6, though now Optimus going out of mech, kind of getting caught with a little bit too much damage. But a good pick there again. Black Zion showing can do a couple of those halts as well. A good pull there, able to pull in Desert Fire, but going back and forth, the Soundless Run falls for the attack. But they're starting to earn a little bit of percentage. Not quite a tick, nothing sticking just yet, but they do have some space as the defense isn't even on the point. But they move back in right before that tick is gone, wrap up the attackers, and again, it's a solid defense for Desert Legion.
Yeah, no doubt. And that Moira ult coming out by Desert Haze, very nice job there. Was able to pick off 2 or finish off 2, and then support the rest of his team and healing them up. So nice job using that Moira ult. But unfortunately now, Desert Legion Gaming only has 1. They have 0 ults, but a couple coming in. Whereas you've got DSC, they've got 4 ults to work with right here. If they manage these appropriately, it should be game over for Desert Legion Gaming.
Retire from Soundless Surrender, trying to initiate for the attack. Desert Scorpion falling once more, as that's a good initial attack for them. Peach Kreva able to answer one back on that Junkrat. Now simultaneous Transcendence coming out, just keep both teams up and alive in a self-destruct, trying to spread everyone out from Optimus. Does catch Peach Kreva on the other side, just not coming out of mech. And now it's DSC earning a little bit of percentage. They've got 2 ticks and well on their way to the final point, continuing to push back this attack, but Desert Frost trying to push it into the point as much as possible. It's not going to pay enough though, and that is a good push here from DSC to take the first point.
Very nice job by DSC there to clean up those kills, and as you can tell, they unleashed hell and used all of their ults from every player that was available. So nice job by them. Now they need to stick on this payload and march it in if they want this victory.
And we'll see if they change up the comp a little bit. We've got Rick Wazix now going back over to the Bastion. We kind of expected that. Definitely a payload look for them. And they've got the shield here from Black Zion in a triple tank formation, so they could just try and power their way through the streets phase. A lot of time to work with, got a lot of ways to go. Now a self-destruct comes in and catches Rayquaza from behind, Drunken as well. That's 2 for them, and again, it's the early ults from Desert Legion really kind of trying to shut down, or rather from the defense, shutting down the attack like we saw in the previous round. Soundless Runner now falling, and yeah, just a good defensive hold from Desert Legion.
Yeah, for sure. Peachy, very nice job on that D.Va, but you know, DSC, they were trying to set up that Bastion to get on top of that point, and you can see that's a very strong comp right now, is having a Bastion on the payload with the Orisa to keep him shielded, known as the pirate ship comp in Junkertown. And so it makes sense that we see it here with Rayquaza doing having such a history as Bastion. Wow.
And definitely a meta almost custom made for him, but again, about midway through the streets phase or so, maybe about getting there. Rayquaza's trying to get back on the point, but no shield now to work with. May not matter, but Desert Fox looks like he's able to get the damage and combines with fire to take him down. Rocket Rush coming in though from the other side. Desert Fire able to take down a few, and really the fight breaking out, but no one with too clear of an advantage. A few tanks still on the point for either side, but I think it is the attack wrapping this up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the defense that's going to hold the attack right now. Defense doing a very nice job. That Orisa picking off 2, and the rest of the team is coming in. Now that D.Va needs to get her mech back if she wants to get there. Now Ray is on that payload. He does get pulled by that Orisa. Very nice job. DSC Drunken is keeping Rayquaza alive right now as that Moira. So let me eat my words for dinner, because wow, the attacking team did come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and they've still got room in the payload. I like how Breakaways use the payload kind of for a little bit more support when Black Cyan's unavailable. Able to get the shield back in and powering this directly through a minute 30 on the clock. They should cap B. I don't think we'll see a last minute contest, but as I say that, PG coming back in on Diva, it won't really matter for them, and now staggered as they do cap this point.
Yeah, staggered indeed. If Drunken Legion Gaming wants a chance here, they really need to group back up. They're starting to stagger, and if I was DSC, I would be pushing in on that defense hard right now. They want to win this game.
Yeah, having a hard time just with the damage coming through.
Yeah, for sure. Rayqua's just sitting on that payload. 1-2 picks, no big deal. It looks like he's been doing this, and he could do it all day.
Yeah, and with a tank mode, they've got 4 else to work with. A 5th on the way as Dark Blaster will have that Dragon Blade here in a second, and it's looking really good for DSC as they go for the first one of the season here with a good hold, and they only need to cap at that point. But on the self-destruct coming out directly on top of Rayqua's 6 grabs 3, and what a bomb for them that may be able, just with the defense needs to hold this.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what to say. Just a great Diva bomb right there. Well placed, well timed, very nice job by the defense.
Yeah, just that was amazing that connected. He landed it right on top of Bastion. Rayquaza literally had the Diva bomb directly on top of him, could not escape, and could triple there to shut down that attack.
For sure, very nice job, just landing it right where it needed to be.
Now with a lot of ult still to work with though, 3 for the attackers, they'll have a 4th. The Optimus will get this tactical visor in an ult or so, or in a 10% or so. Desert Fox with a Transcendence though as well, with try and negate the Dragon Blade that could come out here from Blaster, but tank mode coming up from Rayquaza, he's grabbing a couple and again just kept trying to shut down some of the defenders. I don't know if it's going to pan out though. It looks like they're holding pretty strongly.
Who needs a Dragon Blade whenever you can throw up that defensive capability by, oh my god, I can't talk, by Genji and knock that Bastion ult back at him. He did pick off 2. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's actually Dragon Blades for both sides here, but still just the one Transcendence as Rayquaza's used right now just is switching to Zenyatta off the Bastion. Could be really difficult to find a good position now. The payload's effectively stopped, but it's a tactical question coming up from Optimus. Already finds PG, who's taking out the mech and grabs a second on Desert Fox and just tearing up right now, able to grab a 3rd on Desert Haze, and that's really what the attack needs to continue coming through here. A couple answered back by Desert Scorpion on Tracer, but I think the advantage all DSC is they continue to push this payload. No one's going to be able to contest with them unless they get one at the last second. Not going to happen though. DSC well on the way to the first one of the season, taking the win on Kings Row.
Very nice comprehensive push there at the end by DSC. Very impressive, to be quite honest with you. And I'm guessing that this is that reflect by Genji on that while that Bastion is ulting in. Boop.
Oof. Sturdy. That was impressive. A lot of that damage in. Just shut down Rayquaza themselves right before the Zenyatta change, but yeah, DSC looking really solid there. Good defense from them on that first round, and will really power it through. We'll get some. We'll get to the next match and see what the pick is from Desert Legion Gaming. We come back. Welcome back. DSC well on the way to their first win of the season. Halfway to it here, coming up 3-2 on Kings Row after a solid defense in the third section there and able to push the payload through just about all the way to get the points there. The map coming out from Desert Legion, Lijiang Tower, and we see a lot of kind of control points come out in the second map pretty regularly. What's your take?
What's my take is that everybody loves a good control point. Lijiang is I think pretty beloved in the Overwatch community. It's a lot of fun. A lot of potential for boops from, say, a Lucio or a D.Va or a Pharah. So, excuse me. No surprise there. No surprise.
Yeah, we definitely do see a lot. I think Nepal and Lijiang, out of the 5 games we've got on stream, it's been Nepal, I think 3 times, Lijiang twice. It's pretty common, maybe 4 times, 2 and 2. I don't know, but definitely control points popular. Lijiang and Nepal right up there. So I think the answer for Desert Legion coming back into this game is tightening up a little bit more. They don't want to lose anybody early, and maybe a little more monitoring ultimates from the other side, because I think they kind of caught them out a couple times.
Yeah, no doubt. And let's see if Desert Legion can come back with a vengeance here.
Definitely the potential to do so. A lot of good players. But DSC look like they're pretty tight right now. They've been practicing, got their comms down, and have come to this game really strongly. It looks like everybody is ready to start.
Let's go.
Yeah, without further ado, let's get to Lijiang. Always up for a good control point. Always, always. Definitely the fights, just scrappier. You see those comebacks we saw in, I think it was the squad game as Ryan's Rejects took the second point of Lijiang, had it in 99 overtime, 99-0. Rejects came back, able to take that point, and won the game. So a lot of crazy things happen on these control points.
Crazy.
Crazy. Excited to see it.
My guess is there will be no Mercy being played here. I'd like to see a Lucio Moira. I think Lucio Moira, Lucio Zen is going to really come back with a vengeance in this meta, as Mercy was nerfed a little bit, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do see some Mercy play coming out.
Agreed. How viable do you think Ana is in comp?
I think Ana is very viable in comp. I just think that you need to have the proper aim. So Ana is high skill ceiling, and she's going to be there for a while. Even though they tweaked her a little bit, I still think that she's still a little bit tough to handle if you don't have the right aim. Now, her sleep dart is really nice, and that anti-nade right now, with as much Roadhog as we are being seen played, that anti-nade that Ana can throw is big, and I've seen a lot of people use that very effectively with her.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think you're right. The aim is critical. For DSC on the left here, the blue team, DSC Drunken going Lucio, Dark Blaster, and Winston. Rayquazics opting for McCree, Silent Surrender on Mei, Black Cyan going Moira, Optimus on D.Va. Coming straight to point, the DSC attackers looking to stake the claim early for the red team, Desert Legion, Desert Fox on Lucio, Desert Haze on Zenyatta, Desert Fire going Genji, Frost on Zarya, Peachy Corvette going D.Va, and Desert Scorpion once again on Tracer, looking to cause some problems from the back. But as the control point opens, nobody falling just yet. The fight breaking out all over the place, and now is Desert Haze in a bit of a pickle as Dark Blaster takes him down. Rayquazics adds one more, and it's already DSC off to a fantastic start here on Lijiang.
Yeah, absolutely. Sound the Surrender playing a very nice Mei right now, already at 70% of their ult. So doing a fantastic job. I've seen a couple freezes that have been pretty essential there as they are looking over to take over this point, and they do have the what looks like ult advantage right now, as they should be coming up to 3 rather quickly, or 4, excuse me, with a Lucio only 30% behind the way. And now Desert Legion Gaming starting to move in a little bit. They do get picked off 1-2 with their Lucio and their Tracer going down rather quickly there, but they're able to demech the D.Va as McCree is able to hit some shots. So Desert Legion Gaming need to group up a little bit, push back in.
And kind of everyone getting on the action while the first fight broke out.
Nice.
Headshot double in the back, but now it really is Desert Legion coming back into the kills here with a good pulse bomb onto Drunken. It looks like they'll be able to take over this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice job by the Tracer to get that pulse bomb. And a Diva bomb coming in hot. Picks off two. Picks off both the Tracer and the Zarya and does demech the Diva. But unfortunately, the rest of that team is not there to support him. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, now Desert Legion able to stake the claim here, starting a little bit of percentage, 44% gone for DSC. The fight's still kind of breaking out as no one's really peeled off just yet. It's a Primal Rage coming out from Dark Blaster, maybe trying to contest a little bit, but they're not at the point currently, and the rest of the team isn't quite there. He's going to have to back off with not a lot of health. Really can't get the most out of that ultimate. But now trying to engage again. It's a good defense. Push up from Desert Legion. And a Graviton here from Desert Frost could be influential, but a solid Maywall will negate the self-destruct coming from PG.
Yeah, nice Maywall coming in there. You know, unfortunate, we just saw two big ults come down by DSC, but there was no follow-through. I mean, they had it. They had Desert Legion Gaming in the palm of their hand, but they just weren't grouped up.
Yeah, now as they eclipse the percentage previously earned by DSC, Desert Legion in a good spot. With a couple ultimates of their own, it's a Graviton coming through, but a Maywall to try and negate a lot of that damage. I think they were really looking forward for it. The Desert Scorpion Pulse Bomb with the Maywall there really saved the entire team. But now his ultimates come out as the Sound Barrier coming in from Desert Fox. Can it heal them through the Blizzard? I doubt it though. Desert Fox may fall here. The Maywall coming through. It's really ultimates on either side. I think everything coming out. As Desert Fire is able to demech Optimus, but the fight breaking out here a pixel away from flipping over to DSC's side, but really hard to tell who has the advantage.
Yeah, no doubt. Desert Legion Gaming doing a very nice job to defend this point. There's a few ults that were not able to connect, unfortunately, by DSC, but you know, they do have 20% left if they want to get onto this point and defend it, and we do have a Roadhog coming out by Sound the Surrenderer, so maybe there's going to be a change of gameplay coming up. But, you know, they're just starting to trickle in, unfortunately, as you just see that Lucio getting picked and now Optimus getting demeched.
Yeah, he was trying to contest the point, but it was difficult to do so when he's the only one on there and they didn't have control of the point. So I ended up getting extremely staggered, so trying to come back in. But yeah, not a lot of ult either side, but now the self-destruct coming out doesn't quite connect. It's still Desert Legion's control of the point, and I don't really see DSC flipping this back as the kills start to go the Red Team's way.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about cleaning up right now, and that Lucio now gets caught into that Graviton, and that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, solid first round win here for Desert Legion, answering back on their map pick after falling on King's Row, looking to even this game up and take the game to a 3-game series. Doing well so far, getting that win. Come from behind to some extent after 44% gone for Drunken Shimada clan, but defending well, getting that win. It's now in the night market. It's just this is night market, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Seems good.
Right? Black Zion now switching to Reaper, and we've seen him play a pretty dirty Reaper in the past, so I'm excited to see that, see if he can get a lot of that damage in. Some surprise Death Blossoms, perhaps. A couple changes again as Sound the Surrender now on Roadhog. Dark Blaster going back to Genji. On the other side, I don't see any changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it for Desert Legion, looking to wrap up this game in 2.
And both teams starting to make their way onto the point, you know, with the proper Lucio, with the one with the Lucio usually wins, and we can see that here now with Desert Legion Gaming. The fact that DSC did not have Lucio, and 2 boops coming off by Desert Fox. Very nice job booping off both the Moira and the Reaper. Fantastic job, and they are cleaning up right now. That should almost be a team kill if it was not.
Yeah, able to get that completely before the point even opened, and you're exactly right. Without the Lucio, very difficult to come around that outside, because if the other team does have a Lucio, going to get there first, and you know they're going to boot you. So getting those 2 early, again, just kind of hamstringing the blue team here, DSC, and they're going to have to come in a different way.
Yeah, and you can see Black Zion going in with that Pharah, so they went on ahead and changed their team comp pretty quickly there. Sound the Surrender on the Orisa, so maybe they can make a little bit more use of this, and there goes a Genji strike coming in, but unfortunately that Diva does take out 2, and there's just a lot of action happening on the point. It could go to DSC, but it could come back to Desert Legion Gaming here.
It is starting to sell. It's pretty even so far. Dark Blaster quietly getting a couple kills in the back, really getting the damage through, but finally does go down via that Diva Peachy out of mech. But it's still the damage coming in from Black Zion that could flip this point for them, but I doubt it though. Really a lot of, not quite able to survive. And once again, Desert Legion holds well, eclipsing or coming up on 50% or so. But yeah, even with the early kill on Desert Fox, it was a good dash coming back after getting boot from Dark Blaster on Genji. wasn't quite able to help Sim completely, and that's a Desert Legion in a really good spot.
Yeah, for sure. Desert Legion do have 2 ults with about 2 more coming in, 3 more coming in here. And they do have 64%, 65% of this point, so looking good for them. And they do pick off 2, both that Orisa and the Zenyatta, both very critical parts of this DSC composition right now. As you can see, that D.Va just peachy pushing in, as D.Va just saying, you're not coming to my point whatsoever, I'm going to make you pay. And now he starts to retreat because DSC is following through, and they are starting to group up and push in on him. Now, Desert Legion Gaming does retreat fully back to the point, and now DSC on both sides, both in the center and on the right side. And there goes a D.Va bomb, picking off that McCree. Very nice job by Optimus to make that pick. Unfortunately, Black Zion does go down via Desert Scorpion, and a Genji Blade coming in. But does he catch anybody? Does he catch anybody? Looks like he does catch that Lucio. Very nice job. And with the Moira ult coming in as well, catches the Zenyatta, and this one should go to DSC. Very nice job attacking this point as a team.
Yeah, still trying to contest a little bit in overtime is Peachy, maybe waiting for the rest of the team to come back in, but will fall there, and I think it will flip back to DSC's side. You're exactly right. I think it was a really solid Transcendence from Rayquaza after the Graviton came in from Desert Frost to really kind of help them. DSC bolstering the back of the point. A lot of ultimates came out and were negated by their Transcendence. So solid ultimate from that Zenyatta player. And yeah, able to flip this point back. We'll see if they can hold on. Definitely at the death here in overtime. They can't lose this round, and they know if they lose a single fight, Desert Legion will answer one back and force that 3rd game. So a lot to play for DSC.
Yeah, no doubt, and we do have Black Zion having that ult in the back pocket as well as that Orisa. So they've got a few ults on their side, and now comes the D.Va bomb, but nothing, or Tracer, excuse me, and the Tracer does catch that Genji. So nice job, and now you can see Desert Legion Gaming starting to push in a little bit, and they are making the big plays, the big kills.
And now trying to get that Rocket Barrage in, but not even successful, as Desert Haze able to pick up that Pharah and a neat double on Moira as well. And it looks like it's Desert Legion that should be able to flip this point back, really get the kills they need. Just Dark Blaster left, trying to stall as long as possible so the rest of his team maybe can respawn, but they will clean up that kill and start to flip this point back.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see that desperation of that Orisa right there, and they're trying to push that Orisa shield down to catch that D.Va bomb. Very nice job and awareness by Desert Legion Gaming. It was not the D.Va bomb that caught him, but it was that Zenyatta, so fantastic job by them.
And now the last minute is all coming in from Optimus, but again, it's just a desperate attempt to stay on the point as long as possible, and they will take down that D.Va, trying to win here and do it in 2 games. Looks like it's looking pretty good for them so far. And once again, DSC able to earn quite a bit of the percentage, but now it's in a 99 overtime for Desert Legion. And again, the defenders continue to come back in, trying to stall as long as possible. I don't think that'll do it. Overtime meter ticks down. Desert Legion tied up 1-1.
Desert Fox repping the Philadelphia Fusion. And a couple of big boops coming in for the play of the game. A very nice job and helping out on that Roadhog. Tries to spray. I don't think he got it off in time, but I could be a little bit blind there. Nice job.
Honestly, my Xbox probably may just not rendered it. But yeah, you're exactly right. Getting in early, getting that Lucio through, get the boops on, really kind of shut it down for DSC coming to that point. We'll get the next map rather from Drunken Shimada clan, all to play for in round 3. We'll be back after this break. And welcome back. All the playthrough here tied up 1-1 as Desert Legion on their map choice, Legion Tower, answered back in 2 games. And now we're going to the third map, and it's DSC's pick. And yeah, I know we mentioned previously that Rayquaza's definitely solid on those payload maps as Bastion, and I feel like we need to see a payload map come out from DSC.
Yeah, no doubt. If I had to guess, I've seen him play some pretty good Junkertown.
You know, as you mentioned that, and I think they, against Squall, got the win on Junkertown. They've been Squall trying to answer back. I think David Squall been trying to use that same Bastion strat for Rayquaza, showing them how it's done, getting it done for them, so I wouldn't be surprised either. But we'll get that from them. But what do you think were the biggest takeaways from that second map? Like, what was the difference maker for Desert Legion?
I think Desert Legion just sort of woke up there and they just pushed in as a team every single fight. It was a very nice job by Desert Legion. DSC doing the best that they could. You know, they were able to flip the first point on Legion Tower back to them. But unfortunately, they were very much overwhelmed on the second point by Desert Legion, I thought. Or no, I take that back. They were able to flip both points, excuse me. But Desert Legion doing a very nice job and were able to capitalize at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. And second map pick is Junkertown coming out for them. So solid guess there. Good payload map. Rayquaza we expect to see again on that Bastion on top of the payload, but I believe it'll be...
He was in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
Last season, All-Star game on Junkertown, doing work, if I recall correctly.
You are not wrong. And I think that was for some that I really got to see him play Bastion. I think in a lot of their games last season, he may have been playing, the ones that got on stream at least. So, yeah, excited to see this, and we'll see how Desert Legion contends with that Bastion.
Let's do it.
But we'll get the readies from both captains, and we'll be ready to get this game going. Remember, captains, the last day to add players to your roster, making roster adjustments, is Sunday. Week 5 is the kind of end of that period, so and make sure you get those changes in if you need to. And there's a lot of free agents on the website, so check that out, OWXL.com/free agents. And you can see everybody that's available, all their names and things like that, and add to your team. But yeah, give me just 1 second to get ready from captains, and we'll be right back. Alright, looks like everybody is ready, so we will get it off to Junkertown. And again, I think this is going to be a really solid map choice. I love payload maps. I think they're probably one of my favorite map types. And so excited to see what they have for us. Oh, but actually not quite, as it's like we lost Desert Fox again, so we'll try and get him back in here while we're at a kind of stopping point, and we'll get you back into the game. But yeah, we did swap the team, so Rayquaza is attacking first for Drunken Shimada clan, so that'll definitely be influential. Obviously, we just swapped them because they were defending first on Kings Row, but it kind of does, it's their advantage here, and probably why they picked this map, knowing that would happen. So, good strategy from them, and I know this is a map they've practiced, so hopefully they can come back and get the win here for their first win of the season. Desert Legion again trying to keep in the mix of the challenger tier, currently at 2-2. Tough for those pauses, man, you know. Difficult to disconnect.
For sure. For sure. But I have been noticing several of them happening lately, and I don't know why. It seems like 2018 has just been a lot of pauses occurring in Overwatch. It seems like there could be something wrong with the netcode. I'm not quite sure if there's something going on Blizzard's end, or if it's Xbox Live's end.
Yeah, something. Oh, there he is, but able to come back. But yeah, you're right. That's been an issue. I think in the Overwatch League as well. I've had to pause a couple times, and this season especially. For the OWXL, because it's the first season of, well, you know what I meant. But now 12 seconds for to assemble heroes. Desert Fox back in the game, so we'll get that on pause for you. We don't get to see a lot of Junkertown. I'm actually excited that they picked this map.
How excited are you, though?
Probably like 8 out of 10, at the very least.
8 out of 10. That's some mid-level. That's some mid to high level excitement.
Yeah, you know, like medium high heat.
I feel you. Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Sounds like you know how to cook.
Ish,
yeah.
Know how to cook might be a little bit of a compliment.
But your ramen is delicious.
I attempt to cook occasionally.
All right, and for the defense, we do have what looks like an Orisa, a Diva, a Tracer, a Genji, a Zenyatta, and Desert Fox switching off of that Lucio. So far, and as I say it, switches to that Lucio was looking like an Ana for just a second. And for the attacking team, I have a pretty confident feeling about this comp because it's a good one. You're looking at a Mercy, Orisa, a Bastion played by Rayquaza. Keep your eyes peeled for him. Sound the Surrender playing the Moira. He seems to be a flex player, playing just about everything for his team. Along with Black Zion playing that Pharah, going to the Sky, and Optimus on that Diva.
And Rayquaza's trying to set up as quickly as possible, but will not be able to find it. Desert Fire able to take him down, and Desert Frost adding one back as well. It's a 6v4 and a really good start for the defenders so far. I do like the comp from the attack as well. It's going to be crucial for them to even get to the payload, obviously. But with the Diva from Optimus able to absorb or eat a lot of that damage coming through, and the shield from Dark Blaster, Rayquaza could be in a really sweet spot should they get on top of that payload. Now as PG falls out of mech, it could be a little bit advantageous for the attackers to trying to move in once more. And now Rayquaza's coming on the right hand side. I like the strategy to adjust from them.
Ooh.
It was Blaster coming in with the shield, and Rayquaza's coming in from the other side, splitting up the defense a little bit and trying to get that in, but Desert Fire in from behind, maybe able to get the kill on Rayquaza. It's now the shield going down, and he's got damage coming in from all sides, but has a little bit of help from his Mercy there.
Yeah, that Mercy doing a nice job keeping him alive because he was taking some damage very quickly, and you can see they are trying to push in on him as best as they can, but Rayquaza just staying alive, and as soon as I say something, does get picked off by the Zenyatta. The Caster's Curse strikes again.
Yeah, able to use the res for him, and I think that's crucial. But yeah, didn't have the Orisa shield for a second, but was able to stay alive for a little while and get the kills. Obviously that left trigger from Hayes able to take him down, but back on the payload and back bolstered. Orisa shield back up, and they should be able to push this into A, but not without another team fight from Desert Legion.
No doubt, Desert Legion starting to come out. As you can see, Desert Fire switching, or is on that Genji, trying to reflect as much as he can. But Rayquaza just taking out that Orisa right from the get-go, and the Lucio. Fantastic job by Rayquaza, just sitting on that payload and holding down the right trigger, but with the very nice aiming coming in, able to pick off two.
Though, yeah, to his credit, is kind of a team effort. The tanks that coordinated well to keep that Bastion alive as much as they can. And it's been critical for them. They're able to push this into the first checkpoint with ease, 2 minutes on the clock, and they'll get another 2.5, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to come through the second phase.
You know what I'm liking here? I'm liking the Mercy. I'm liking seeing a Mercy that everybody says is dead, but she lives. She lives on Junkertown right now, and she is keeping Ray alive, both with the heals and the damage boost to just rip through the defense.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be the first to admit I really thought she would be just about unplayable, but the healing benefit is still definitely there and crucial for some comps. This is definitely one. We've got Zion on the Pharah, also able to combine, get her a little bit of space, and Drunken just able to flit in and about. Rayquaza already going in and getting kills as well. It's Desert Legion powering through this second, rather DSC powering through the second phase really strongly, getting the kills there, and they're coasting through the second section.
Boy, they sure are coasting right now, and it looks like they're doing a wonderful job, and they should be able to get this second point pretty much with ease there, with as that Orisa shield. Orisa, I think, is a little bit overpowered right now with how quickly her shield can come back. 6 seconds, I believe, is what it is. Boy, that's awfully quick, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree completely with that shield. It really, you have to focus it down as much as possible in order for it to go down before that cooldown comes back. Because with just standard damage coming through, she really can put it down as soon as it gets broken. So I would agree, maybe a little bit longer could be helpful.
Yeah, and as we start saying that, Rayquaza does get picked off by the Genji, but he does have the spawn advantage, as you can see. But Mercy decides to say, you know what, heroes never die, and you are my hero, so I am rezzing you. And they are starting to pull back a little bit as Orisa does. The defensive Orisa drops her bongo, and now it's a 4v6 matchup right now. And they are able to, the offense is able to answer back by Dark Blaster, taking out both the Tracer and the Genji, but the D.Va taking out the Pharah. So if I was DSC, I'd pull back a little bit, get reorganized, reset up so they can push in using Rayquaza's Bastion.
Yeah, it really kind of fell apart for them. Rayquaza fell early as Desert Fire really just kind of darted directly through the entire side there, the attacking side, and took down that Bastion Rayquaza. And he really didn't have anybody peel for him, not a lot of help, and wasn't able to get to a good spot. But on the sound barrier coming up from the defense just to initiate quickly, getting in very fast. And Desert Scorpion grabbing a couple. Haze and I think Desert Frost getting in on the action as well to grab a few. And as the attack comes in, trying to use the D.Va Bomb, really kind of wasted as the defenders continue to stay strong here on the payload.
Yeah, I don't quite understand where that D.Va Bomb came from and why it was there. That one kind of puzzles me a little bit, as that D.Va Bomb is going to be very necessary here if they want to capture this payload or march this payload all the way down. As you can see, there's an Orisa behind them. They don't even realize. That Desert Frost doing a nice job just starting to pound in that damage as the Orisa, but unfortunately it does go down. Rayquaza and the Pharah taking out pretty much the whole team of Desert Legion Gaming.
And finally able to get back on the payload. Important to note again, Desert Scorpion fell very early in that fight once more, like we saw in King's Row, and DSC were able to capitalize on that with the man advantage and really pushed in. Desert Scorpion now switching to Soldier and deciding to stay behind the shield instead of behind enemy lines, and maybe able to help the defense bolster here. They obviously don't want a repeat of that King's Row payload section. But now as it comes in, still 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock for the attackers. DSC in a good position. They do have ultimates, and none of the other side is very quick to come in with a good triple. Didn't even need to use the tank mode to do it, and getting a ton of kills, and kind of the MVP of this round for DSC so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray, you are just having a day, and I can rhyme all the time. Very nice job, and they are about to push this payload in, and as the D.Va Bomb comes in, but a little bit too late.
Oh, Vision, you're a poet, and you did realize it, able to cap that there with a lot of time left on the clock. And yeah, Rayquaza didn't really need to use that tank form, able to clean that up really quickly. And Desert Legion reeling somewhat, will need to put in another good performance to cap this map.
For sure, for sure. And as you can see, DSC, they were able to hold it, or they were able to capture that point with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. So if Desert Legion Gaming wants to take this over, they need to capture that point and have enough time.
And we definitely could see this go into multiple rounds, but now it's DSC's game to lose to some extent, right? They've got the map capped. They know that all they have to do is put in a solid defense, and they can win this game. So yeah, lots to play for here, but they've done everything they can up to this point. They just got to have a good defense.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if Desert Legion, they will run the exact same comp. I think it would be pretty smart of them if they did to answer back. As you can see, they have glimpses of that, but you can always troll at the beginning of the game.
And it's just about the same. I think they are going to shape up the same way, but they're trying to get Desert Haze over to the Ana, which could be the difference maker. And they're actually going double barrier with Fox and Frost on those two tanks. And yeah, like the Mercy play by Krevitt there, and Scorpion's trying to get damage in over the top. But yeah, their comp is really going to revolve around keeping fire alive. And we'll see what kind of defense DSC comes out with. Looks like they'll also have the Bastion, so Rayquaza could try and melt down those shields pretty quickly. The biggest thing, I think, Sound the Surrender on Sombra. Able to get the EMP in. Yeah, that take down both those barriers simultaneously. You'll see Rayquaza mow everyone down. So that's going to be critical for Drunken Shimada clan to be aware of where those med bags are, or health bags are, and get that EMP built up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And as you can see, they are starting to set up on that point. They have both that Reinhardt and that Orisa shield, but it is being contested right now. DSC, they are very fragmented, but you know what? It doesn't even matter. They are able to pick off two of Desert Legion. Very nice job by both Rayquaza and the Pharah.
I think it was a good combination. It was actually Sound the Surrender in from behind, getting a little bit of distraction. They turned around and the defenders capitalized. And now it's going to have to be Desert Legion regrouping in the spawn as they kind of lost that first fight. Sound the Surrender already 60% to that EMP.
Yeah, for sure. That EMP is going to be crucial. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if Desert Legion decides to switch off of that Bastion. And as soon as I say that, they do. They switch off from the Bastion to a Genji and a Zenyatta now. So they're going to play more of a traditional comp, try and get around them, get the kills, and maybe switch back to a Bastion to get them back on the payload.
Yeah, and I like that they responded quickly and didn't try and power through and force that comp. Realized it wasn't working, it made the change. The problem is Desert Scorpion once again on Tracer in the back lines, goes down immediately in that fight. Has a shorter respawn, so won't maybe get as punished for it, but now switching to Soldier once again to make sure they've got the full 6 at all times. EMP coming in from behind, they may be able to capitalize this. Now it's Desert Haze falling,
Wow.
Frost and Scorpion fall as well. And again, just shutting down this attack. DSC looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. And DSC just doing a fantastic job. And as you can see, we had that EMP coming in by Sound the Surrenderer, and he is already at 45% again. So you could tell there's a lot of communication happening between getting those health packs and him getting those picks, or at least some damage in to gain some of that ult.
Yeah, and it's just a really good, well-practiced map for DSC. Like we said, they've played this before. They're very familiar with this map, and it suits their strengths definitely. I think Desert Legion are having a hard time finding a way through this defense. Desert Fire just getting shot down there by Rayquaza, and with just under 2 minutes on the clock, Desert Legion really gonna have to figure out a response to this DSC Bastion.
Yeah, I tell you what, that Bastion, the Pharah in the sky to distract them, the Bastion on the ground to mow them down. Fantastic.
Yeah, and it's really just DSC now asking all the questions in Desert Legion without any answers. To come in here, definitely not without a full 6. Still kind of scattered. It's a Doomfist coming in from Desert Fire, trying to disrupt that Bastion, but caught in behind, could be in a tough spot. The Rocket Barrage coming through, getting a lot of damage in from Black Zion, but I don't know if they actually were able to get any kills. But the payload finally moving, just over a minute on the clock here, and as Rayquaza finally falls, this could be the initiation from Desert Legion.
Yeah, no doubt. And the EMP does go out, but unfortunately, there's nobody there again to back up ults by DSC. So they need to sort of communicate a little bit better here, because that EMP could have been essential as this payload is approaching the first point.
Ooh, Desert Legion really strong now. I think they have the numbers to continue this fight, but it's kind of split up as the payload's now kind of unattended to. There's a bit of a fight behind them as the Sombra in the back's really causing problems, but in front there's issues as well. But I think it's looking good for Desert Legion, but now it's Rayquaza in the middle of everything, trying to get some damage in. We'll get shut down here, and they may be able to cap this first point.
They need to regroup and they need to reposition themselves, because right now it is just stagger after stagger after stagger for both teams. And as you can see, Desert Legion Gaming looks like they should be able to push this payload in, as a Sombra just randomly shows up and then disappears just like Houdini. And now DSC, they're trying to put up a fight here at the point.
Yeah, they're really trying to get onto the point, and Optimus very close to Graviton actually did earn it, as came back into contest but was not able to get it off in time. And as they continue trying to contest, they're really trying to push this into overtime. You're exactly right, just staggering. And as Desert Legion caps this point, that means long spawn for everyone that dies after this. So it could be a really easy coast through the streets phase for Desert Legion with all those long respawns from DSC.
Yeah, no doubt. Just DSC, group up for the love of all. Just get together here so that you can stop this payload, because if you don't, the same thing's going to happen to you as what you did to them.
Yeah, looking for a good opportunity to try and find some space, but I think getting flanks on a couple different sides. And a lot of ults here for the defenders, though. They could really contest this, and just the nano boost on the other side for Desert Haze. Peachy going in for res on that Doomfist, who's about 5% away to his Meteor Strike, and could combine with the nano as well. We'll try the Meteor Strike here to catch a couple.
And
Goes in and finds
the
a kill.
Mercy.
Finds a kill on Drunken. Yeah, solid wrap up from him, but I think it's still maybe DSC coming back and get some of these kills.
Looks like it. Looks like it. Rayquaza's just starting to mow down a little bit. Call him John Deere, because he is picking everybody off and mowing down the opposition.
Able to grab a good 3 there. It's 5 ultimates, almost 6 actually, as Black Scion comes in and will have a rocket barrage very quickly. Minute and 18 seconds on the clock though for Desert Legion continuing this push, but definitely in a time disadvantage, and they'll have to find just really answer this a lot faster.
Yeah, no doubt. And as you can see, DSC is starting to do a nice job at defending this point. They were able to group up a little bit, and it is a all-out team fight here happening up top there towards the spawn of Desert Legion Gaming. And as soon as I say that, Black Scion coming in with a double, with an ult from Pharah, the Rocket Barrage picking off both the supports. So fantastic job here by DSC, starting to make some plays and picking up the kills.
Yeah, just continuing to eat down that time too. Just 40 seconds on the clock here for Desert Legion, and it's really starting to get dicey for them. They really need to start pushing this payload in. We thought they'd have a lot more room after getting so much of the space on that first point, after knocking down quite a bit of DSC attackers, or defenders rather, but DSC was able to wrap up a little bit, get back onto this point, and now with 20 seconds, it's starting to look a little dire for Desert Legion.
Yeah, for sure. And Rayquaza, he does have position right now. Nobody's really accounting for him too much yet because there's so much opposition on the ground. So he's able to sort of rain down from above, not as Pharah, but as that Bastion. As you can see, Peachy starting to do some attack mercy, and there goes the EMP following up with the Graviton. Excuse me, I got something in the back of my throat, and that looks like it is a team wipe by DSC. And with that, DSC is able to hold off on Junkertown. And Sultan, correct me if I'm wrong, but they should be celebrating because that is the first win of the season for them. Congratulations to DSC.
Yeah, it is in fact. And 5 of their members on fire this right here at the end. Just fantastic coordination for them using those ults well. And yeah, what can you say about DSC? Just really came to play today. And you saw the comms, the chemistry, and the communication from them. Comms are so good, I named them twice. Getting the cards there. And yeah, really solid win from them. Congratulations. And for DLG, it's back to the drawing board. We'll get some post-game thoughts and look at it week 6 when we come back. Congratulations to DSC for getting that win, now going up to 1-3. That's a good, really solid win for them. Finally, it all come together. Desert Legion now 2-3. And I don't know if DSC is like one that's not represented on the schedule or something. Maybe their game last week wasn't recorded or something like that. But Desert Legion now 2-3. Dropping a little bit in this very tightly contested challenger tier. Legacy, I think, also getting or losing to Crisis Red, dropping 2-3, so at least they can take a little bit away from that. But Ryan's Rejects getting their win goes to 3-2, so a little bit of split happening in Challenger, and I like how the season's shaping up so far. In that last game, again, like we kind of called it earlier in the broadcast, that Junkertown's a really good map for DSC. They showed it here and got the win.
For sure, Rayquaza just flexing on the opposition as that Bastion. As you can see, they've practiced that. There's absolutely no doubt that they've practiced that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, obviously, that's what we like to see. It's Junkertown, one to look out for. Again, I think it is the Week 8 map as well, so DSC will be almost giddy about that, especially with playoff contention possibly on the line for them as they start to really build the wins towards the second half of the season. But, yeah, something to look forward to. Speaking of which, Week 6, it's going to be DLG facing Squaw, who just lost for their first game of the season, so both teams looking to come back and get a win here in Week 6 on the Paul. For Drunken Clan, they face Legacy coming off a loss to Crisis Red as well. So, yeah, yeah, a chance for them to continue that momentum a little bit further forward. And yeah, just a lot to play for in Challengers. Like I said, I really like doing this tier. A lot of good games.
Yeah.
And
you can see a lot of these teams are really progressing in skill. They are starting to get their chemistry, their communications down, etc., etc. So very nice to see.
I completely agree. A lot of these teams in the kind of tier 1 and 2 kind of amalgamation from last season, and head and shoulders. Obviously, a lot of these teams staying together, playing together, and it really does show. Quality of the games is fantastic. So fun to see, and just excited to see what's in store for the rest of the season.
Yeah, man, no doubt. And just to remind all the captains that are listening out there or will be listening and recapping this, you have until Sunday to get your roster adjustments in. After Sunday, the rosters are locked for the rest of the season. So if you need to pick up somebody, if you're looking for a tank, a DPS, a support player, an off tank, somebody that's a flex player, got to do it now.
Yeah, all that information on the website, OWXL.com/free agents, and they've got availability for those players, their SR, their mains, all the information you could possibly need. You could reach out to them in the Discord and add them to your team. But that is Sunday, so be aware of that. Also, like I said, the free-for-all tournament available to sign up. You can go onto the website, and in the Captain tab, it's an FFA tournament, or just the URL/FFA. So yeah, there should be a lot of fun as well. A lot of cool prizes, so definitely get in on that. And I'm excited to do that tournament, so make sure you're available on the 17th. And we will see you there. But I think that will just about do it for us. Any other final thoughts?
No. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of which, 2 games scheduled so far. There should be a couple more coming up. Saturday, Hog Hunter and Intangibles duke it out at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time in Eternity Esports and Sevenfold from the Champion tier on Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So look ahead for that. But yeah, I think that will do it for us for the Challenger tier, for OWX League, and for Raging Bull, Salt and Pepper, and we'll see you guys next time.